So you want to win the 100 Years' War's England. And the game starts and you're wondering, how do I beat this just massive, extremely strong France that has way more manpower on land than I ever have? Well, I found it to be pretty easy, as a matter of fact. Let's walk through a couple steps and reasons why and how to beat France in the 100 Years' War quickly. Step 1. You need to understand your strengths as England in this war. You have one major strength. You are on an island, and France is not. That means if France wants to truly attack you, and the war goal of the 100 Years' War is to take the capital province, so they want London, they have to land troops in England to win the war. That should always be your understanding. They have to land troops on the mainland England to win the war. I don't care if they get Abbeville and Montreuil. I don't care if they take all of Aquitaine. That does not matter, because that's not how they win the war, and that is not enough to give them enough war score to win the war. So, your whole goal is to protect London. And though they have more ships than you at the beginning of the game, combined, mostly because of Flanders and Normandy and Brittany, they're vassals, you still have enough ships to fight if you choose to. However, the trick is to treat this as a game of whack-a-mole, because at the beginning of the game, no one has enough transports to transport a big enough army to defeat your army of 58,000. No one can do it. So you do one thing. You intentionally let them land troops on your mainland and stack wipe their troops over and over and over again. And what happens is, eventually, France will get weak enough and will lose enough battles, and you'll get ticking war score where you can win the war without even having to really go into France at all. You can wait it out. You can make it a really long war, wait it out. Even with 10 to 15% war score, you can get a lot of land. But that's not all. There's one more trick. Let me show you what happens in a war if you let it last long enough in this special scenario. Oh, 1346. As you can see, I'm the only person in the English portion of the 100 Years' War, but I'm winning. Why am I winning? Well, let's just say I'm taking advantage of my navy and the lack of their navy. But what's interesting is you'll see some people that probably aren't there that you would expect. Like, where's Brittany? Why isn't Brittany here? Where's Auvergne? That's weird. What happened to them? Where's my game even at? There we are. Okay. Well, if you zoom in, you'll see some things are a little bit redder than they probably should be. Aquitaine's normally the red like this. England's normally red like this, but why is Brittany pink? Why is Bourbon pink? Why is Burgundy pink? Why is Valentinois pink? Why is Vendôme pink? Oh, it's because they're a vassal of me. Ventador? Yeah, they're a vassal of me. Weird quirk of the game, I guess. When I've been letting France drop troops on England, and then I've been crushing them with doom stacks. Because I can't actually fight them in an out-and-out war, but I can fight them if they try to drop troops over here. And for whatever reason, that's caused a lot of France's vassals to flip to me. I have not spent any money to flip any of these vassals. I've not negotiated with anybody. But yet I've flipped about half of their vassals. They're mine now. So, if you want to win the 100 Years' War, this might be the way to do it. I'm probably going to take a bunch of land and then claim throne next time and just go invade them and take Paris and form a union. Balloon's going to switch. Yep. I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. All right, Flanders, you're next. I'm taking all of France's land. Who else wants to drop out of the war? Come on, guys. You know you wanna. All right, so it is 1364, and this is my second try here, and we have a union. I have become. I have a union with France. I also have Paris. So 2 wars. First war went kind of straight down this way, made the county of Picardy on top, and then went straight down to my second war to Paris. They attacked me both times. I didn't even have to do an offensive war. They're both defensive wars. For some reason, I think just based on opinion and how I was doing in military might, half of France's vassals defected to Britain, and we won. I basically won the second war because France was just in a war before with some of their eastern neighbors and had gotten really, really low in terms of manpower. And so when the war started, I just built up a couple of actual manned armies and brought them with my levies, and we basically just crushed their army. Well, kind of ground down their army, but we beat them pretty easily. So you can do it in 2 wars. I don't know how you could do it in 1 war, but you can definitely do it in 2 wars. Hopefully the next time I get back, this is all England. That'll be fun. So, status update. I may have made a mistake. A very critical mistake. I was playing off stream and, well, I decided I wanted to fight Scotland. And to put it nicely, I made a critical mistake. I thought France was no longer allies with Scotland since they were in a personal union with me. Unfortunately, I was wrong. So now they're free again. France is free again. But I did go to war with them again and won again. And I now have more land again. So, I mean, France is kind of not going to win overall, but they are free. So I have to, all of the good parts of getting a personal union, like absorbing the entirety of France without pissing anybody off, is now gone, which is very unfortunate. So, yeah, not great. So that's the end of my saga of my win against France. I used the whack-a-mole strategy. I took land starting here and moving south straight to Paris so that I could claim the throne and get the personal union. Please don't do what I did and fight a war with one of their allies and immediately invalidate the union within 5 minutes of getting it. Please don't do that. It makes it a lot easier if you don't. But the strategy works. Wear them out, wear them down, wear down their manpower, convince their vassals to betray them as part of the war, and you will beat France as England, no matter how hard it looks. And it is pretty difficult. I did fail a couple times, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's very doable. Once you understand the strategy of whack-a-mole, very doable, and you will very quickly become Great Britain and be the #1 world power. I promise you that. Any questions, any other things you want me to try, leave it in the comments. I would love to try some different fun strategies or different fun challenges that anyone has for me. Thanks for watching and have a great one.